Welcome to a short but sweet news video where you have an opportunity to actually try out new features inside of Rec Room earlier than anybody else, and we have a pretty cool sale that's going on for most players right now. Strap in, get ready, and let's start this video. So on a pretty positive note, players are now seeing this weird sale that pops up on the corner of their actual door mirror. If you're a new player, this sale is for a $40 set. It's basically like this little ninja set. It's this Techwear Samurai bundle, and as you guys can see, it has 5 different items made by Rec. New players can get this actual bundle for $1, and this set actually costs $40. It honestly isn't too bad of a bundle, and it's not a bad deal at all. And Rec Room normally doesn't do stuff like this. So I want to encourage this actual bundle, and I really want to encourage you guys to buy it so Rec Room kind of, has the data to support doing more things like this. It'd be great to see more things like this from Rec Room regardless, but I'm definitely going to buy it when I definitely can. And just to prove it, I'll be wearing that actual bundle in the next video, I promise. But if you are a new player inside of Rec Room, it actually costs you $5 for this actual bundle, so if you're actually a new player or you have a new account and stuff like that, you can get it for $1. I don't know what the requirements of being a new account is. I'm guessing you made it now in the start of 2025, but I wouldn't really know. Anyways though, it's a pretty cool sale that Rec Room is doing that they don't normally do pretty often that I heavily want to encourage. Also, how am I looking? Do I look good? Thank you guys. I really do appreciate that. Anyways, this is kind of embarrassing to ask before we start with the news, but guys, listen. I have one token. Just listen. Can someone in their good gracious gift me the chocolate variety box? I would love you forever. I want to talk about it in a video because I didn't talk about it inside a weekly video. I would really appreciate it if you guys sent me 2 of these. Thank you to whoever does that. I really do appreciate it. Hey, would you look at that? We have a new featured creator. I think we got some new featured rooms as well. Wait, gravity balls? Check out this room right now. In other news though, we did actually get this little announcement from Sean talking about a playtest coming to Rec Room. Rec Room confirms that they just opened up a partner/test server playtest, and anyone is welcome to hop in, although only Steam and MetaQuest players are able to connect their partner server at this time. The test server has unreleased Rooms 2.0 updates, which include stability fixes, 160 new Rooms 2 props, and other changes. We never opened up a test server to all players like this, so we want to see how it goes. The R2 partner playtest will take place on the partner server from right now until Sunday 9 p.m. PST, so just around 2 days. And for the full details on the test and a list of all the new props and info on how to send us your bugs and feedback, please read over this doc. I've created these channels and moved them to the top of the server just for this weekend to help R2 partner playtest run smoother. And let us know what you think of the R2 playtest, and let's see if y'all can bring down the test server with the number of people testing. So there is a doc link, and I will have a link to the actual Creator Hub Discord server where if you look inside Creator Announcements, you will find this actual announcement. Then there you can then access the document with all the information on the actual test, where to send your actual bugs and feedback, and the whole list of props. There's actually so many, but yeah, it's basically just all Rec Room props. So be sure to go check it out for your guys' selves, but it's pretty cool. Blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Sorry. In this next section of the video, we have a thing called Developer Talks, and it's basically just interactions between the community and Rec Room developers that usually talk about features that were, implemented into the game, or about new features that are coming soon to the game. So think of it as just reading what developers have to say about current topics happening in Rec Room at the time. So there was a player giving their feedback about this muted icon on VR for Rec Room. If you guys can't see it, it's basically just like this red crossed out microphone on the bottom of your VR screen. The person talking about this obviously hated it, and they wanted to get rid of the devs that came up with this actual idea, and they were glad that this actual split test was averted. And Chase, a Rec Room developer, came on to say that this was a test that Rec Room ran. It did not perform well on VR, however, it performed great on other platforms. Admittedly, designing something like this for VR is a bit tricky, and the test was stopped, and we've gone back and redesigned for VR. However, we haven't tested the new designs. When it was confirmed that this actually obstructed the view and stayed inside of your actual, point of view, Chase confirms that it should have disappeared after being in the room for a few seconds. If I recall, we showed it upon entering a room if your microphone was disabled, or maybe if other people around you were talking. I can't remember. It's confirmed that this must have been a bug of some sort. But when Chase decides to respond to a comment from someone inside the community saying if it's gonna be there, can it please be off to the side more, or at least more transparent? Chase says, I like having it off to the side, but we need to make sure it's still visible in the HUD. One problem for VR that screens didn't have is that there's no indication on how to unmute. The tricky part here is that not every VR platform has a button we can dedicate to a mic toggle / push to talk. One of our design solutions was to add a mic toggle button to the top of the home page where there was some blank space. I still think it'd be nice to have a setting there to save you scrolling through audio settings. And the reason why they won't actually allow custom keybinds is because it would be hard for some platforms that don't have many buttons like PSVR, and it would be easier for something like PC. Chase even decides to share some redesigned pictures of this reverted feature. As you guys can see inside this image, we have a simple button idea right next to the token value. We also see a message with the actual button allowing you to either enable your mic and giving you a little, message. There's also a button with text as well, and these are all variants that Rec Room is going to test. And it seems like they are actually going to test this one to see which of these actual, features perform the best. So maybe make it easier for Rec Room. Which design do you like inside of all these redesigns? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below, and let's continue on to full body avatars. When a player was talking about player height issues with full body avatar, Jode Animation says, yes, we would love to address player height issues and also provide options for players to adjust their own height relative to the standard scale. Essentially, the problem here is that everything appears bigger to you when you're in full body avatars compared to bean body avatars. As you looked into it, there would be too much work while classic bean systems are operative. So once we sunset that old avatar system, we can make adjustments to avatar and world scale in a more reasonable time frame. And when asked if it'll be restricted players because VR users can abuse this feature a lot if it's not restricted for screen, and Jode Animation says yes, there's two ways to think of player height/size. First is allowing a player to adapt their avatar within reasonable human ranges as part of their avatar identity in Rec Room, i.e., I'm a tall person and want to be represented that way in-game, or I like to experience myself in a game differently than is possible in real life. So my Rec Room identity is of a person of blank height. And the second way we think of avatar size is in terms of gameplay mechanics. So here we have normal limits in public RR spaces, but creators can build rooms and experiences that make use of a chip to control player height for any number of gameplay-focused reasons. You could have a game where it's tiny people versus giants, or a handful of VR games that do this as well. Totally aware of the problems that this would cause if there weren't any limits, so we'd be thoughtful of how, where, what to extent of this would be allowed if the feature were to go into active development. And so that's his spiel on full body avatar height. What are your thoughts? It's time for another membership bit inside the video. Before we get started, massive shout out to Pinky for joining the actual membership. I really do appreciate it. And massive shout out to these people who include Nat the Pup, Toms, Cam VR, Blade VR, Nathan Creates Content, Dude Dub Dub, Scott Walker, Jay, Kobe Found 76, Cam, Names Unlisted, Daytrix, Dex Storms, Phyllis Arts, Nola the Dragon Boy, Garlic Bread, It's Freddy RR, Dozer, BB Birdie and Owl, Raphael, Netflix 69, and of course, Box David. Thank you for the support. I really do appreciate it. And of course, people, let's end off this actual video. And that's pretty much all the actual news that we have inside today's video. You can already see I have one token, so please use my code, like and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. Your boy needs it. But yeah, that's basically it. You guys should see some more videos on the screen and stuff like that, and it's about other Rec Room news. My last video, I talked about Slap being hacked and stuff like that, and how you could get a free shirt that I'm wearing right now. So go check out that video. I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I even checked out this Rec Center update. And I guess I'll see you guys inside the next video. Peace.